CMHC is predicting that home prices go up as much as 89% if we don't build enough homes. Let's break down what that looks like and where they're getting these numbers from. We'll take a look at Ontario specifically to break down what prices look like currently and where we are along that 89% way. I'm Michael Ouzas. I'm a realtor in the Greater Toronto area. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what CMHC is predicting when it comes to housing supply. And if you ever want to book a call with me, click on that first link in the description down below. So CMHC, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, this is their housing shortages in Canada PDF, and this updates regularly, and this talks about how much housing is needed by 2030. In a nutshell, this article goes on to talk about housing that's affordable is important to everyone in Canada. To reach an adequate level of affordability, they need to increase housing supply, and by how much. They update this article regularly, and it's really important to note that they're looking to achieve a level of affordability last seen around 2004. If we jump over to the CMHC website, here's the key highlights from the article. So to restore affordability, they maintain their 2022 projection that Canada will need 3.5 million more units on top of what's already being built. They adjusted their 2030 projection for how many housing units there will be in Canada in 2030. Based on current rates of new construction, the most recent projection, 18.2 million units, down from 18.6 from 2022. There has been a shortfall in housing construction. 60% of this 3.5 million housing unit gap is in Ontario and British Columbia, and that's because housing supply hasn't kept up with demand over the past 20 years in some of the largest urban centers. I'm going to guess the largest urban centers would be the Greater Toronto area and the Greater Vancouver area. Additional housing supply will also be needed in Quebec, which was once considered affordable. They've become less affordable over the last few years, and more supply projected in Alberta due to strong economic growth. Other provinces still remain affordable to households with an average level of disposable income. However, challenges remain for low-income households in accessing housing that is affordable across Canada. They also go on to offer two scenarios, which is a high population growth scenario and a low economic growth scenario. Here are the projected price increases across the country when it comes to all the provinces and then in Canada as a whole. One thing that's important to note is that these price increases started in 2019, and I think that's incredibly important. So whenever we see these news headlines that say that CMHC is predicting a 86% increase in pricing for Ontario, that's from 2019, and I wanted to break that down now so we could take a look at what exactly those prices look like where we're at today. In Ontario, baseline percentage price increase is 86% from 2019. In a low economic growth scenario, the percentage of increase in house pricing is 74%, and on a high population growth percentage, we're looking at a 98% home price increase. You might be wondering what exactly that means. So I've gone ahead and done all the calculations for you. We'll break down where exactly things were in January of 2019 and where they are as of August 2023 using the TRREB data points. So let's jump over to the Canadian Real Estate Association's HPI tool. You can actually access this for free. Just go to CREA.ca and you can type in what exactly you're looking at for different areas around the country. In January of 2019, the average price composite, so keep in mind the composite includes condos, freehold, and everything in between. The composite was $589,700. The peak price in March 2020 in Ontario was $1,072,600, and in August of 2023, we're looking at $908,000. Here's how that translates into the percentages that CMHC is predicting. In January 2019, average sale price $589,700. So we factor in the baseline percentage at 86%, that average price would be $1,096,842. And if we use the high population growth percentage, which is a 98% increase in price, that number is close to $1,168,000. I also wanted to point it out what exactly that peak price looked like from a percentage standpoint. If we notice that in March 2022, CMHC's prediction of 86% on average, it almost was attained in March 2022, 3 years after the 2019 starting point and quite a long ways away from 2030. That number at the peak, 1,072,600. And if we look at August 2023, that peak number has fallen almost $160,000 to $908,000, which is a 54% increase from where the CMHC report started in 2019. So just something to keep in mind when you see these articles that are stating that CMHC's report says housing prices will increase by 86% in Ontario. That number started from 2019 and not from the peak or not from where things are at today. I'm Michael Ouzas. Thanks for watching.